Hey everybody, it's FGD4619 opening up my arsenal. Today I'll be going over one of my newer decks in my possession. As to those of you that have seen me at the Anaheim Regionals, Long Beach Regionals, heck, those having dueled me at the Anime Expo 2009 table games, or recognize the sleeves, you already know what's coming. This deck is what I call the Speedo Trio, because I shall be going over what it has. First up, I have 3 Ojama Yellows, 3 Ojama Blacks, 3 Ojama Greens. Now there's no need for me to discuss why I have those 3 copies of each one in my deck. It's just obvious reasons for the next couple cards I'll be going over. Next set, 3 Ojama Blues. Reason being, their effects, whenever they're destroyed in battle, I get to select 2 Ojama cards from my deck and add them to my hand. So it'll be quicker for me to get like one of the 3 Ojamas, or one of their support cards, like Ojama Delta Hurricane. 2 Ojama Reds. Reason being, their effects are that when they are normal summoned to the field, I get to special summon up to 4 Ojamas. 2 Gravatic Orbs. When they're flipped over by either flip summon or when they're face down under attack, battle positions of all monsters are switched. So like if I have to deal with a whole bunch of attack mode monsters, as soon as these guys are flipped, those attack monsters are switched to defense. And the newest cards I added as of late, 3 Nimble Masubis, because when one is destroyed, my opponent loses 500 points of damage, loses 500 points, and I can special summon up to 2 to their side of the field. I have 1 Neospatian Grand Mole, 1 Neospatian Air Hummingbird, and 1 Spirit Reaper for defense. Next up, 3 Oja Magics. You always have to have a magic trick up your sleeve. Reason being, because again, as everybody knows, when they are sent from the hand or from the field to the grave, I get to add up to 1 of each Ojama, red, black, and green. Red, black, and green, yellow, green, and black. So when I can use like the Lightning Vortex card to send 1, add 2 more to the field or whatever, and I get Ojamas like that. Very useful if you have an Ojama Delta Hurricane in your hand. Next up, 2 Ojama Countries. Their effects are that when I control an Ojama monster on my side of the field, the attack and defense of all monsters on both sides of the field are switched. It's basically like a shield and sword spell. And also I can discard 1 Ojama card from my hand to special summon an Ojama monster from my grave. Also I have 2 Ojama Delta Hurricanes. When I have 1 of each Ojama, yellow, black, and green, on my side of the field, I can activate this card to basically wipe out the entire side of the field. 2 Polymerizations, because the Ojamas have fusions, but I'm going to show you which ones I use. 1 Oja Muscle, so I can give one of my fusion monsters that I have in my extra decks an extra power boost. Heavy Storm, because sometimes I do not like my opponent's backfield. Ground Collapse, because this card makes I could select 2 monster card zones, 2 monster card zones on the field, and basically force my opponent to only have a certain amount of monsters at a time. 1 MST, and 1 Pot of Avarice, and the Black Garden. Basically because since it basically reduces the attack of a monster summoned while it's on the field by half, Ojamas aren't affected because, ladies and gentlemen, how many attack points do they have? 0. I also have one Swords of Being Light in case I need some time to protect myself, and a Lightning Vortex just to, you know, get rid of certain monsters. And one level limit area B, because since basically all of my monsters are level 4 and lower, so this card helps me out by forcing my opponent's monsters who are level 4 and higher basically into defense mode. I also have, as for traps, I only have these 4 traps. Negate attack to stop my opponent's attack. Gravity Bind to force all level 4 or higher, all monsters of level 4 or higher from attacking. Ojama Trio! Yay! And this card, God says no. Why? He just says no. Solemn Judgment. Basically, I have only 4 traps because Gravity Bind basically just forces only me to attack. Solemn Judgment helps me to protect all the cards I use. Ojama Trio forces my opponent to have 3 tokens that whenever they're destroyed, my opponent loses 300 points for each, and just to stop the attack. That's the main deck. My extra deck has these 2 cards. Ojama Knight. Basically it's a newer version of the Ojama King. It's a fusion monster. Well, duh. 0 attack, 25 defense. Ojama Knight, basically, when he's summoned to the field by fusion summoning, it's basically a ground collapse card. It chooses, I can pick 2 monster card zones, my opponent empty 2 empty monster card zones and render them useless. The other card I have in my extra deck is the one and only Ojama King. Everybody knows what he is. 3,000 defense, 0 attack, and 3 monster card zones my opponent's not using are basically rendered useless. Now, this is my Ojama deck. Let me know what you guys think, but please be reasonable, guys. Come on. Ojama decks, I'll admit, I had my doubts about this deck, but using it, it rocks. Again, it's FGD4619 revealing one of his decks, Unite to Duel, and see you guys later, hopefully, at the sneak preview for Ancient Prophecy. Laters.